YouTube, what is up? James, MTG Biggie here, and we didn't get to make the video last night. I actually got caught up with some friends playing Magic, so today I wanted to go over the culmination of Day 2 and some of Day 3's spoilers for Masters 25. A quick correction from the last video. I mistakenly said that Red Elemental and Blue Elemental Blast were commons. That is not the case. They are uncommons. The set symbols are very hard to distinguish between common and uncommon on computer screens. So, unfortunately, no Red Blast, no Blue Blast, and Popper. But that's okay. We got to get into it quickly because there's so many. So I'm going to go through these fairly quick, and we're going to talk about the bulk of them. We have a Chroma's Vengeance, first off. Just a good massive board wipe that cycles, does some stuff. Originally from Onslaught. Pretty neat. It's also a rare, so kind of low value in a rare spot, but still, you kind of got to have a sweeper. And if they have to put an Onslaught card in the set that's not a fetch land, sure. Ball Lightning, this is a classic mono red beater. This was the best thing you could do for 3 mana in red for the longest time. The watermark's sweet. I don't care for this artwork, but it's pretty sweet that it's here. It's a very nostalgic sort of card. My good friend Alex, who used to play Magic with me back in the day, loved Ball Lightning, loved mono red. It used to be called Sly back in the day, but basically red deck wins. So it's cool to have Ball Lightning back. We have Bident of Thassa, which is a weird inclusion if they're not going to do like the cycle of these. I guess because of the fact that Theros or whatever, it was either going to be like something like this or one of the gods. Who knows if they're going to do more of it, but it's strange, but sure, why not? Blue Sun Zenith, card draw for your limited control decks. Why not? Seems fairly decent. Okay, this is our cycle of dual-colored lands. Cascade Bluffs, Twilight Mire, Fetid Heath, the various other ones whose names escape me right now. I'm just including the picture of the bluffs. The full cycle's in the set. The filter lands haven't been reprinted before, and they're very usable in Commander. They see a little bit of limited play in Modern, and like Jund every now and then plays one of the black-green one. Blue-red Control or Blue Moon will every now and then play one of Cascade Bluffs. So, not bad. Kiki combo in Blue Moon or whatever uses this to cast Kiki Jiki fairly reliably. So, they're not fetch lands, which everybody wanted. They're not shock lands, which have a fair amount more value. And I think everybody kind of wanted the creature lands as well from Zendikar. But you have to have a land cycle, and this one hasn't been reprinted in a while, so it was either in this set or the next Master set probably. So why not? Conflux, really big, splashy 5-color card that's not going to see play anywhere in Limited, I don't think. And not that exciting. I'd be kind of not happy about opening this at Rare. Counterspell, the classic, was just reprinted in, I believe, Iconic Masters. At Common, of course. Insanely powerful card. This art's pretty sweet. It looked good in foil, so I dig it. Darian, King of Keljor from Cold Snap. Not too exciting. Just a big 3 for 6 that does some stuff and makes some soldiers. Probably playable as top end in your white decks, but there might be some sort of a token strategy that wants this. Decree of Justice, this is the original Entreat the Angels. Super sweet to see. Nice throwback from Scourge, why not? Doomsday is an insanely hard to play with card and very powerful, but super weird. And I guess it's cool that it's a mythic. The artwork's super sweet. Noah Bradley killed it. And, yeah, what more do you say about that? Eidolon of the Great Revel. This is a card that's only seen one printing that is fairly expensive on Magic Online, if I'm not mistaken. And the best red 2-drop ever, maybe. So, super excited to see this. Super excited that, like, players that want to play Burn in Modern will have more access to this card. Because right now it's only a $6 or an $8 card, but if it went another 3 to 4 years without a printing, maybe the price climbs and it's above $10 eventually. Insanely powerful 2-drop. This is a card that in Modern, when it's cast, you have to answer it with 90% of the decks that you're playing. Ensnaring Bridge. This is a ton of value. Very expensive card. It's the centerpiece of the Lantern Control deck. It is an important piece in many prison-style decks in Modern and Legacy. The artwork is great. The Stronghold watermark is awesome. This is going to be $1 million in foil, and gonna be pretty cool. I like the artwork, and it'll be nice. It'll add some nice value to your boxes if you get to open it. So I like the fact that it's here. They reprinted this and Blood Moon, so it seems like they're cool with the prison style cards being reprinted and kept reasonably priced, and I'm good with it. Fierce Sampath, just a dude that searches for a bigger dude, so that's fine. Not exciting. Flash, interesting Mirage reprint. Kind of a strange card. It basically gives a creature flash. It's sort of where the mechanic came from. Not super valuable at rare, but whatever. Frenzied Goblin. This is a premier common if you're going to be in a mono red aggro strategy in limited, or like a token strategy in limited. So very good. Also super popper playable, so if you want some cool art with this card in foil, now's the time to get it. I super enjoy the watermark. It's definitely a nice common to have. Giant Growth, the most classic, or one of the most classic green spells that's not a creature. Some cool art. This time it's a giant-ass bear, which is cool. At common, pretty sweet. Hordeling Outburst. This is an interesting downshift from uncommon to common. So now this card is legal in Pauper Goblins, which is pretty awesome for those of you who enjoy Pauper. The Konzatar watermark is sweet, and now you get a sweet Pauper card, so that's pretty cool. I actually have most of Pauper Goblins. I was gonna finish it, and I have a bunch of these laying around from playing them in Standard, so glad to see that. Jalira Master Polymorphous. This is a downshift. Now we have a legendary creature at uncommon, which is strange, but it's fine. Not much to say about it. Core Firewalker. This is a great sort of hate piece for the burn aggro, or the burn mirror in Modern, rather. This is a good sideboard card for your Soul Sisters decks. Even Death and Taxes can play this. It's pretty good, pretty solid, and at uncommon, it'll be definitely worthwhile. So nice to see that. Lightning Bolt, the best red spell ever printed. One of the best removal spells ever printed. Here at uncommon, with the watermark. It's a shame that they couldn't have the Chris Rush art as sort of a tribute, but that's fine. This art's great as well. Lightning Bolt's great. You probably take this fairly highly in draft if you aren't opening a giant splashy rare. So I'm into it. Love Lightning Bolt. Living Death is a super cool card. At rare, this is basically the card that Living End is based off of. The OG, those who remember the Living Death, Tradewind Rider, sort of value creature decks. That was the sort of first deck that really cranked out just a ridiculous amount of value out of creatures and graveyards. And very, very cool artwork on it as well. I like this contrast and these cool dark grays and blues. I'm super about that. Probably going to be gorgeous in foil. Doesn't really see a ton of play anywhere, but probably cube, EDH, stuff like that. So it's very nice to see. This is Magus of the Wheel with some new artwork. Commander reprints are cool. So there's that. Manowar, this was spoiled by Marshall Sutcliffe. It's his favorite card of all time. It's great and limited. And it's just a classic great card, and I love the look of the Visions watermark. I'm super high on these watermarks, by the way. There's nothing cooler than like seeing the very, very old original Border Magic set symbols on the new card frame. So I like that. Manowar's great. You play as many of these as you can get in limited. It's a ton of fun. Master of the Wild Hunt is a pretty sweet mythic. It does a lot of stuff for your green mid-rangey decks out there in limited. This is great. Super cool, kind of splashy. Not super expensive, but cool to see anyway. Miko Koro, Center of the Sea. Pretty cool Kamigamo block reprint. It's a cool thing to do in Commander. It's very pretty, very nice artwork. So that's cool rare. If we have the cool utility lands, like as many like neat utility lands as we possibly can, I'm for that. So this plus for shot import is pretty sweet. There's another one coming up right here, Mishra's Factory. Some nice artwork. Again, not as great as the original artwork, but I like it. And the Antiquities symbol is super cool here. This card is just classic, great. Still sees some legacy play. Absolutely a wonderful card. Sees play in Vintage still in your Workshops decks. So it's nice. The Zumi Cutthroat, it's just a common dude. 2/1 with Fear, can't block, nothing exciting. Nicol Bolas. This is super cool because I think most people assumed that the original Nicol Bolas from Legends was a reserve list card. Apparently it's not, and it's super flavorful that like this is the card that sort of spawned a ton of lore in Magic. To have it on the new card border with new art, the Legends watermark, a sweet flavor text, it's super cool. You're not going to ever cast this in limited, I don't think. But it's still very flavorful, very neat rare. I'm sure collectors, Commander players, stuff like that will enjoy seeing this in foil. Then we have Promise of Bun Ray, which is downshifted to uncommon. When a creature you control dies, you sacrifice it and make 4 1/1 dudes. So, pretty cool tokens piece. I think red-white tokens is going to be a draft archetype. So that's a good piece to have at uncommon for a pretty high pick if you're in that. Protium Hulk. Just a big old splashy dude. Nothing to say otherwise. Excuse me. Ratcatcher. Another big, goofy, splashy, rare 4/4 for 6 with Fear. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you could find a rat. Tutor for a rat card. There's a common rat in this set, so maybe mono black rats is a thing you could do. Who knows? Reform. This is, let me clear out some of these notifications. Just a dude that makes a dude that makes a dude that makes a dude. So pretty cool. Maybe a control sort of finisher win condition, maybe in limited. Who knows? Relentless Rats to go be tutored with your other rat guy. So rats is a thing, I guess. Rurik Thar. This card sees some play in the Amulet Titan decks as sideboard tech. So that's neat to see. And at rare, it's pretty cool. Savannah Lions. This is a huge one that I wanted to talk about. This card used to be the best white creature in Magic, or the best white 1-drop in Magic. 1 mana 2/1 used to be insane. Back in the day when I played Magic, you wanted 4 Savannah Lions in all of your aggressive white decks because they just didn't give you 2 power for 1 mana unless it had some major drawback like Jackal Pup, stuff like that. This is now a common. Savannah Lions used to be a rare, used to be the best 1-drop white creature, used to be an incredibly powerful thing to do for 1 white mana. Now a common. It's Pauper legal, which is awesome. I think your mono white, aggro, white weenie Pauper decks play 4 of these all the time, which is cool. New artwork's great. It's really neat to see this still around after all these years, even if they've printed 10 other white 1-drops that are better or that do more than it. It's still cool. Savannah Lions, you can't deny the classics. So there's that. Strionic Resonator. Yeah, it just forks stuff. So forks triggered abilities. Not that exciting, kind of weird. Summoner's Pact. This is a staple in most decks in Modern that have Primeval Titan. So that's cool. There's some value to this at rare. Cool to see. Definitely welcome addition to the set. Undead Gladiator at uncommon. This used to be a rare, downshifted. Onslaught, tribal rare. So some folks who are playing zombies in EDH are going to like to see this in foil. So that's pretty cool. The artwork's sweet. Not much else to say. Vendilion Click, one of the best blue creatures ever. Super cool to see this. This has some value at Mythic. It's one of those cards that no matter how many times they seem to print it, it always hovers around 20 bucks. So this will probably make it more affordable before it climbs back to that mark, just because it's a very good card. It's in Modern. Control decks is one of. It sees Legacy play in like Miracles is one of. It sees play in Fairies decks, whether it be Modern Fairies or EDH Fairies. So that's super cool. Willbender, another downshifted uncommon. I believe it was downshifted, but another sweet morph creature. So morph is going to be a cool thing to do in Limited. Morph creatures are really good. Do not underestimate that. The artwork's cool. I like the original better, but I like the watermark as well. That's very cool to see. So there's that. Zombify. So reanimating a Nicol Bolas may be the way that you play your Nicol Bolas in Limited. Keep that in mind when you're drafting. If you have a way to enable the graveyard, which I don't think it'll be in this video, but I'm pretty sure I saw on Twitter that Merfolk Looter is going to be in the set. So your blue-black reanimator, dump stuff in your graveyard, zombify it. That's how you Nicol Bolas people. A Chroma's Vengeance, that leads us back to the front. We've already covered this. So that's it, guys. I went over it very quickly. Sorry it was so brief, but we had to get through it. What do you guys think? We're about 70 to 80 spoilers in. We have a lot more to go. So I'm really excited to see what else they're going to dump into the set that has a ton of value. The set looks really good. I've seen some people complaining about some of the mythics being a little undervalued. Just not as expensive of cards and reprints as they could be. There's a lot of value at rare in the set, especially like Rashad Import and stuff like that. But that's it for today. I'm going to attempt to make another video this evening, so it'll probably be close to a double upload day. I just wanted to get day 2 out of the way and the beginning of day 3 started to cut down on the length of tonight's video. So, let me know what you think. Comment down below. What are some of your favorite cards? What are you looking forward to in the limited environment? I actually just was informed and found out last night that there will be a sealed PPTQ for Masters 25 in my local area. So I'm probably going to play sealed at least one time with this set, and maybe draft another time, maybe try to draft beforehand to try to catch some practice. But set looks great so far. I think limited's going to be one of the better limited environments ever, and I look forward to it. So let me know down below what you think, and if you'll look across the screen here, you can subscribe, and if you haven't yet, I appreciate it. And of course, I'm always on Twitter at MTGBiggie. I've been gaining some followers on Twitter there and conversing with a ton of other creators, as well as viewers and people that are just in the community that want to engage and talk about Magic the Gathering, where I'm not making a video about it, or I don't have a video made and I could talk more directly in real time with some folks. So definitely follow me there on Twitter if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.